Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to PDINA'. I hope you're doing well today. There is just so much going on, so much happening in the world of this woman, this American woman who married into the royal family. And the one thing that I really want to talk about more specifically is the betrayal of the Queen, and mention a few other stories and talk about these things. But there's just so much to talk about with each story. Like, everything that they do is just off the charts. And I think we're just going to have to talk a little bit about everything and expand more in some other videos, because I don't like my videos to be too long. But yeah, we got to talk about this, the betrayal of the Queen and a few other things. Hey, that rhymed. Let's get into it. Okay, Mr. Otis, are you ready to hear about what's happening today? Yeah, okay. So, first off, they have this new website out. They are actually in Canada right now on the kickoff. We know Harry and Meghan, the kickoff 1 year from now for the Invictus Games. And, there's all kind of pictures coming out, so much that they're trying to get out into the public. And one thing I wondered is, looking at Meghan, it looks really cold there. It looks really cold. Why is this woman's coat not buttoned up or zipped up? It's like, close your coat, woman. Ain't nobody trying to look at you. She's, every minute of every second, she is trying to show, like, look at me, look at me. It's like, calm down, woman. Zip up your coat and just focus on what you're there for. But you see, it's always the focus inward and then like what it looks like on the outside, and I could just go into that all day long, but I'm gonna just try to stay focused myself. And just looking at everything that they're doing, how they're rebranding, trying to repurpose everything that they've done, shows you that nothing has worked in the past. They weren't able to be successful with this the Archwell, and now instead of talking, they say badly or speaking negatively about the royal family. Well, let's just try to act like we are the royal family. We don't really have to speak horribly about them to get people to notice us. But if we kind of just say, okay, we royal, and just be very blatant about it, then that's how they can get people to look at them still with the connection to royalty, but also without even mentioning the royals in the United Kingdom. If you look on the website, there's no mention about the royals, Buckingham Palace, anything, the late Queen, nothing. There's none of that connection on the new website, which still is Sussex Royal. Okay, let's just get that straight. Because if they were trying to make a break from Sussex Royal, they would have just made Sussex.com without Sussex Royal going to Sussex. But the fact that it goes to Sussex, the new website from Sussex Royal, shows you they're still using Sussex Royal, because they can say, oh, go to just SussexRoyal.com. That's our website. And then they will get to Sussex.com. So they're not really not using it. They're still doing things that they're not supposed to do. And sorry, it just got a little hot. But everything for Harry and Meghan right now is just that you can just see how they're just trying. They're just like, okay, let's try this. Let's try that. And not really thinking about the consequences and the things that they have done and how they have seriously betrayed the Queen. And I think William is going to make a difference, a big difference, once he becomes the monarch, because apparently there's news out that he is looking into finding ways to see what can be done about the use of Sussex, because Harry and Meghan have just completely taken this whole royal connection and are really making it their own. And it's coming from that woman, Meghan. She's the one spearheading all of this. She's driving it. And Harry's just like, okay, okay, go do what you want to do, girl. Just do it. Because he halfway can't stand the woman either. And she's just like, taking every opportunity to do all these things, which is just an abomination. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just getting ready to say it, okay? I've said it once, but I'm going to say it again. Meghan Markle is ghetto. She's ghetto. And I looked up the definition for the word ghetto. We know it's reference to the Jewish slums back during the Nazi era, when they were all confined to these certain neighborhoods. But it's also a word that means behaving in a low class manner. And that's what Meghan Markle is doing. She is so low class. She has been afforded something so privileged, so we set the tone. We're high society, you know, you have the good and the bad of the people in these areas, okay? And it's all in how you look at it, because there are a lot of great people that are married into these upper echelons of society, but are good-hearted people. You know, you find your own way to do your own thing, but because Meghan is so not talented, so unoriginal, so not a real person, she has to try to make her way off of the back of what she married into. And she calls herself a feminist, but everything that she has even put on this new website is only from the things that she got from marrying a man. But yet I'm feminist. Be strong, woman. I can do it. Hear me roar. Okay, well, I can because my husband, he helped me. It's like you just such a fraud, everything. But there's just so much to talk about, so many ways to go into this. But I just want to look at how this woman in her ghetto behavior has come in and rocked the royal family. And now she is somewhat being allowed. And I know it's not popular for me to say this, but somehow I think the current monarch is allowing it to happen. Why has the king not done something to hone this in, control it? I think they're scared. I think they don't want to be looked as royals racist, because they've already been called out in this book, mind you, with Omid Scobie, in a very sneaky way, because we know it can only have come from Harry and Meghan. Okay, and now the king is, I think, somewhat like, okay, I'm not racist. Let me just not say nothing. Go do what you want to do in America. And this is what we have. I find it appalling that you want to connect yourself to royalty, but not adhere to the work and the rules of being a royal. She's not doing that. She's like, okay, I'm royal. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to connect business and philanthropy. This is what is on their website. And so this is how I think William is trying to get around that by looking at how they cannot connect their work as business people to their crest and their name, their rebranding of Sussex, and then the connection from Sussex Royal, because don't get it twisted. They could have easily had Sussex Royal just be dead in the water and only get to their website with Sussex.com. But they still want that connection to Sussex Royal. And then when you go to Sussex Royal, you somehow get converted to just Sussex.com. And then you see this whole royal atmosphere, everything about it, the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, everything, the colors, the way it's set up, it speaks royalty. For a woman who wanted to not be a part of this racist thing that was in the monarchy that she called racist, she sure is trying to keep her connection to it. And it's clear the queen did not want her making money off of the royal titles. And what has she done? She has thrown that away. Don't mind it, because the queen is no longer here. The late queen can't say anything now, and now they're running with it. It's an appalling thing. She is really overstepping something that was given to her in good faith. And now she's just kind of repurposing it, to make it something completely different. It's almost like she's been given this title of this duchess, being married into royalty with this crown, this symbolic crown, and she's repurposing that crown. And she's making a belt. Okay, I'm going to make it a belt now. I'm royalty, and here see my royalty with my belt. And it's almost like you trying to find a workaround to this royalty that you're not supposed to be using. And it's a very low class thing, and she's ghetto. This is the only thing I can think of as a word that describes what we are seeing with this woman, because it's all coming from her. She has clearly betrayed the queen. And so the website is a fine-tooth comb, and it is right now a big challenge for Buckingham Palace right now, who I believe are going to weigh in on what is happening with this whole website that they have now. And the question that falls within these different areas, these different gray areas of what they're saying is that the royal family believes that the couple is trading their titles for commercial gain. And if Harry and Meghan are penalized for this, they're saying that Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson are going to have to be punished too, because they've been accused of doing the same thing. And I think, well, then go ahead, do it for them. Do it to them as well. Another source doesn't believe that they have breached the Queen's exit protocol, but that the spirit of the agreement was broken. But pals of the couple think that Harry did nothing wrong. Harry and Meghan are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That is a fact. It is their surname and family name. They do have a point in making a fuss over the name of a website seems trivial, while King Charles and Kate are recovering from their health issues. Buckingham Palace may have its hands tied in taking action, says another source. The king has other things that he needs to focus on at the moment, and the last thing His Majesty needs is another fight with his son, but this won't go down well at all. And the thing I say about that is the king has people to handle these things for him, okay? I mean, the king literally can just say, okay, go do something about this, and it will get done. Like, he's not drafting the documents. He's not researching the laws. He's not doing all the menial work. He has people to do that. So I don't think it's trivial. I think you are setting the tone for the future of the monarch. You are setting the tone for the respect and the way the monarch is withheld when you adhere to the things that you can and cannot do. Because the way it looks now is Harry and Meghan are half in and they're half out. They are using their royal titles because that woman is doing what she has always set out to do from the day she married this man. She's getting away with things that she needs to not be getting away with. And you have to do something about it, or you are really devaluing what the monarch is there for, what it represents. And it makes it look cheap. It really lowers the look of the royalty when you see this girl making the royals that she's and the royalty that she has inherited look ghetto. I mean, you just look and you think, woman, are you serious? You're not supposed to be doing this. And I think the Americans are easily fooled by it. Not all Americans, I know, but they are looking at her as being royal because there's nothing being said across the pond. And when there's nothing being said over there, what are people going to think? Oh, well, they must be okay. They must have the right to do this because there's nothing being said. So part of that, and then you have the other issue, what is happening with them. So they're over in Canada right now, and they were asked this question. And the question was, let me find it. They were speaking to Scott Moore, who is a veteran Canadian broadcaster and the new CEO for the Invictus Games. And then he asked this question, well, like, how should we address you? And guess what they said? Guess what Harry and Meghan are telling people to call them? Sir and ma'am. Now, why might that not be okay? Well, it might not be okay. It's because when people of royalty are addressed, they are usually addressed by their HRH, His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness. But because they're no longer allowed to use HRH, the default for using HRH is Sir and Ma'am. And so now they are being told, call me sir, call me ma'am. Now, Harry didn't have this a few years ago when he was asked that same question. In the past, Harry has said to call him Harry. In the past, Harry has said, okay, just call me Harry. Just call me Harry. But now he's saying, call me sir. Meghan is saying, call me ma'am. So these are people who don't want to just live on a level to do good work. They want to live on a very high level of I'm a royal. Look at me as royalty. Call me ma'am and sir. And give me lots of money because I am connected to royalty so that I can live above my means and what I'm talented to do. And let me just trade off my royal likeness. It is an abomination. It is disgusting. And Meghan Markle is just plain old ghetto. That's right. I said it. She ghetto. Because she can't do the work. Nor that. She doesn't want to do the work. She feels like she's too good to do the work. And now trading on their names and using Sussex and now calling their children Sussex as their surname is one of those things where you are allowing them to go so far and they are taking like, well, we're going to take it all. That's what they're doing. Archie and Lilibet were given Mountbatten Windsor when they were born after the coronation, and the name Sussex after their parents, Duke and Duchess, their titles. But now they're getting rid of the Mountbatten Windsor and they're going to just be called Sussex. Prince of Sussex, Princess Lilibet Sussex. Just how they're using the names on the website. They're very prominent. They're very in your face, bold about their royal connection. And they're not even trying to play by any rules at this point. It's like, okay, let's see how we can find a workaround to the rules. Let's not respect the rules. Let's not really respect the authority or what we talked about in Sandringham. Let's try to find a workaround. Can we find a workaround, a way to kind of go over the rules that you gave us? Because we don't want to follow rules. We're too good for rules. But we can find a workaround to that rule. And all it is it's a betrayal of the Queen and everything that she worked for. It's disrespect for what the Queen gave up to adhere to the rules and to move ahead in a very modern way. You don't disrespect people in what they have told you. You know, Harry and Meghan can very easily continue using Archewell. They can continue doing their work and put less focus on themselves and more on the work that they're trying to do for the common good. But they're not trying to do that. They are trying to capitalize off of this royal likeness and give people this false sense that they're trying to help people, that they're out there to really make a difference in a very good way. What is it that they have on their website? Show up, do good. No, show up, do good, and really do good, and stop perpetrating. Stop being fraudulent in your behavior and how you are acting and trying to make people believe one thing when the reality is a completely different. I mean, all you have to do is look at how they've treated their own family, how Meghan is not really there to do good. The way she has treated women in her professional life and how we have seen the rebranding shows you it's all about Meghan. It's all about what she wants. It's not about the work. She's using the ideals, the branding, the look, the feeling, the majesticness of everything to make it look and feel like she's there to do the things that the royals do, but proving false to that work. Where it really is about what she is doing and how she can be lifted up to look like she is the one that is the superior being of all the work that they're trying to do and capitalize on it, even though she's not supposed to. It's wrong. It's wrong, and I believe that the royals, the real royals, need to do something about it because you're at this point, you are through your silence and through your just looking the other way, you are somehow feeding this giant of an ego to continue doing what they're doing. And that just devalues the work of the real royals because they're still somewhat connected to the royals because the real royals are not saying anything. And I fear that it's going to get lost in the minds and eyes of the people in other countries, America and others, that people will just automatically make that as a connection that they are a part of the royal family doing work in other countries on behalf of the real royals. And that in itself should be a problem. And at this point, I think somebody has to seriously make a point that Harry and Meghan are no longer connected to the royals who have the tradition of royalty in the United Kingdom. Like, there needs to be a clear break from the fraudulent royals that are living in America.